Good afternoon on the East Coast and good morning on the West Coast. Welcome to an earlier than normal market close. So, you guys probably know the market is closing today at 1 o'clock, so 30 minutes. We've got 30 minutes to kill before the bell. So, lots to do, lots to do. We'll take a look. We're not in a hurry, but we'll take a look at the market here in a moment. We finally got back into the green. I will say this is kind of neat. I was looking this morning and it's like, oh, we started the day off a little bit deep in the red. What's going on? What's going on? That's kind of what I was thinking. And there really isn't any stimulus out there except for those last minute tax loss harvesters getting in there saying, oh boy, it's Christmas Eve, we better do our selling now. And that may be what we were seeing this morning, a little bit of that red. I was hoping by the end of the day, by the bell, we could get back into the green, and we have just crawled back into the green. Although, that's not the market. This is. Not by much, though. Not by much. So, taking a look right now, we are 0.04% into the green. We've got a green candle that has been pulling us up. You can see this red candle right here. This is where we started the day. We went down, but we've been constantly moving up since this morning, since that initial wave of selling. So we are currently at 0.03 to the green. Let's see if we can stay above that, stay on the green for the day. It's Christmas Eve. That's a perfect place to end it because, well, the next 2 days we do not have a market. The market is closed on the 25th and the 26th. So the next day, next market day won't even be until Monday, and we do have a show. We already have Monday show ironed out, guys. Yesterday, you guys earned a Monday show, so we got a Monday show. All is good. For that, I will also be here tomorrow, guys. I will have a stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So it was initially scheduled for 10, but I moved it to 11 just to make it a little bit easier for anybody on the West Coast who wants to join in and wish Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or what is it? Happy Festivus? Is that a thing, or is that just a Seinfeld thing? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, right now everything is looking pretty good. TSX in the green. S&P 500. They're having a pretty good day. Now they're actually up 0.39%. So nobody was selling there this morning. So not too shabby, not too shabby. NASDAQ also looking pretty good, up 0.22%. Dow Jones, same idea. Everybody's looking pretty darn good. Even the Russell. Russell's got a nice green day going as well. Gold's not having the best day. Gold is down 0.07%, but for the most part, I would call it flat. I would actually call this a little more flat. Now silver's up 0.47, copper up 0.81. And oil's also up a little bit today, 0.29. And Bitcoin, oh boy, our big old Bitcoin here, look at this, up 0.01. All right, it's flat. Let's just call it flat. Ethereum is down a little bit. Looking at our heat maps, let's just move that out of the way. I'm just going to refresh this. I want to make sure that this is accurate. Yep, it is. All right. Yeah, we've got a lot of green. The things that, the very, very light green is the stuff that looks gray for the most part. But yeah, we do have overall looking at this, it looks a little more flat. Obviously, our non-energy minerals have that little bit of that pullback because of gold slipping back a tiny bit today. So, we got Barrick Gold back 0.75. Yeah, a little bit. Finross, 0.58 down. All of that fun stuff. Tech Resources, down 1.91. That's kind of an interesting one for sure. The railroads, they're both up today. CNR up 0.01, not much. Let's just look at the U.S. Let's switch over. U.S., we can see technology looking a little better, other than NVIDIA. NVIDIA is down 0.53. But Apple's having a pretty strong day, up 1.06. Microsoft is up. Google down a tiny bit. Tesla is down a little bit today as well. So not a great day for Tesla, but you know, all right. And let's get this out of the way. Guys, it's a red day in crypto. I have a tradition around here. I like to pick on a coin. I like to take a look at one of these altcoins. There's about 15,000 of these little coins. And we'll grab a green one today. Let's see. Let's go with this one. I don't know what this is. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it up. We'll see what we got. Edwin, we have found Edwin. I really don't know what this coin does. Yeah, it's got an owl as a figurehead, I guess, or as a emoticon. I don't know. But it's not worth much. It's worth, what is it? 0.05 of a penny, and yeah, it looks interesting. It looks interesting, I guess. But all time, this coin is down 85%. So it goes to show, if you jump into some of these altcoins, be prepared to lose. You're probably gonna. I call them crap coins. Why? Because it's like going to the casino. It really is. It's like going to the crap table. It's not in your favor. So be careful. Be careful with these. Now, like I said, I don't know what this coin does, but if you're interested in this coin, you want to, at the very least, read the white paper. Do the research. Find out what it is and make sure it makes sense for you. For me, I don't even have the motivation to want to do that much. So, you know, there's money to be made in crypto, guys, but I don't think Edwin is the way to go. I really don't. Stick to the big coins. Stick to your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your XRP, Solana, Cardano, and heck, gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. Definitely a safer bet for sure. All right, this is the point where I'm normally watching the clock because I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta get ready for the bell, but we got lots of time. All right, now, before, let's first of all, let's jump back into chat. And very quickly, we do have a super chat. I want to pull this up. Kat is in with a $10 super chat. Merry Christmas, Candace and chat. Yes, absolutely. And guys, you know how we do the goats? You know how I got that secret 5th goat? Well, today's the last day we can really use that goat. Well, we can use that goat tomorrow because it's Christmas. But for today, any supers or any of the likes we get, they're all going to get the special goat. So here's to you, Kat. Our Christmas goat is celebrating for sure. I love it. I love it. Thank you very, very much. All right, now let's get back to the comments. It's actually really easy to find where I am because we just started. Brian is in the house first with a good morning, everyone. I thought the stream was starting at 11. No, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow we start at 11. The Christmas Day stream starts at 11. Now this one here, well, yeah, instead of the 15 minutes before market close, I just wanted a little bit of extra time with you guys. So we're doing the 30 minutes. And guys, starting January 1st, all market closes are going to start 30 minutes before the bell instead of 15, just to give me a bit more time. And I'd like to look a little bit more at like market drivers, that type of thing in the new year as well, just so that we can really analyze that market a bit more. All right. Zeniel said, I think it was 15 to 30 minutes before market close. All right, there we go. Yes, exactly. All right, at least now you know now because it's already begun. Scott says, will we have a green Grinch or a red-nosed reindeer day? Good question, and we'll keep our eyes open. But right now, oh gosh, guys, look at this. I'll just pull it back up here. We're now 0.01. We're starting to retreat. Are the Grinches going to win? Uh-oh. I think we need all of the power of Whoville to keep this in the green. So, oh boy, yeah, we'll check in. We'll check in again. I am afraid. I'm a little afraid. I do want to see it move back up. All right, Cowboy is in the house with a greetings all, and Lance says Merry Christmas, everyone. Doorpad is here, and we got Paul with a good morning. Good morning, Paul. Michael is in the house. Merry Christmas, everyone. Everyone got their savings for TFSA and possibly FHSA contributions in a few days. Yeah, exactly. And here's the question of the day. Will the bell be on time? I was late yesterday. Yesterday, I was five minutes late. So, I'm going to do my darndest. I'm going to do my darndest to be on time today for sure. Muggsy in the house. Hello and Merry Christmas, everyone. May the new year bring you happiness, peace, and prosperity. And look at that whole string of emoticons. Not that long ago, the Nightbot would have got upset at that, but not anymore. I love it. Guys, feel free to flood the chat with Christmas emoticons. Feel free, or money emoticons, or maybe, I don't know, maybe unicorns. If that's your thing, feel free. This is going to be a very chill, this will be a very chill market close for sure. Patricia is in the house with a hi. And we've got Mary in here with a hello. Merry Christmas to all. And Mary is our official captain of the like button. So guys, if you haven't yet hit that like button, well, it's time. Turnip Blue, just give it a good old click for the holidays. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys make the algorithm's Christmas a happy one. Oh, so good. And Festivus for the rest of us. I love it. That's really cool. Patricia says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Festivus. There's other holidays too. Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Is it a happy Kwanzaa or is it just have a great Kwanzaa? I honestly don't know. Heather says, Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Wishing you a great green Christmas. Yes. And every time you guys mention green, I'm gonna take a peek I'm gonna peek over there on the side with my eye and see if we're still, if there's any movement. And there was just movement right now. The market just moved up to 0.02 in the green. So, we're fighting back. The Santas are fighting back against the Grinch. So we're going to see where that ends up today. Cowboy says the Where's Waldo coin should be your next choice. There probably is a Where's Waldo coin, to be honest. The only problem is, Cowboy, is that I have no clue what I'm about to click on when I click on it. So I click on it and I hope one of these days it is the Waldo coin, because that would be, I'll have a lot of fun with that one. I will have a lot of fun with that one. I mean, like today, it's hard to make fun of a coin called Edwin. Unless you're like looking for a boring coin. I mean, really, what else? No offense to anybody, by the way, who's named Edwin, but it's not the most exciting name, but it does say stable. Mario says, good afternoon, everyone, and I pressed the like button. Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone, and Merry Christmas. That's from Alias, so somebody who's hiding their identity. Awesome. Let's see, we want the market to bounce like a bumble. Nice. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And Mark says, hi, you all. Happy holidays. I mean, holidays. Happy holdings. I just read that as holidays right away. I was just like, boy. All right. Mario says, ring the bell 5 minutes earlier. Ooh, could do that. And the Crispy Bones Christmas tree lot is now open. So head on over, get yourself a tree. Paul says HBTE on the day, plus 0.29 on the month, 0.92 blocks on the day, 1.03 on the month, plus 6.57. They both have to recover more. Yes, absolutely. They certainly do. I'm hoping to see some better movements on Bitcoin in the new year. I'm really, really hoping. I do think we still have one good pump for Bitcoin before before we even think about a crypto winter. And right now, and it's kind of this thing. So I'm thinking a lot about 2026 because early in the year, I have my prediction video that comes out in January. So I want to, I really want to get it right this year. I have a feeling, oh boy, I really have a feeling I botched it last year. So I don't even remember. The only thing I can remember in the prediction video is that I predicted a recession, which did not happen. We did not get a recession. This year kind of defied. I mean, the 2025 is a year that defied pretty much everything. The Acadian, well, I guess maybe the Acadian economy too, but the Canadian economy, we were supposed to absolutely tank. Our dollar was supposed to plummet. The tariffs were supposed to hit us really, really hard. Now, some sectors, absolutely. Automotive, steel, aluminum, lumber. There are sectors that absolutely did get hit pretty darn hard. But the overall resilience of the Canadian economy and the Canadian market has been absolutely crazy. I mean, look right now, the TSX, does it show me? What is it going to show me? Whoops, I have to actually click on it first. All right. And guys, I'll bring this back here so you guys can see it as well. There we go. Pull it over. Okay, so right now the TSX has moved again back to the green side. So we're now up 0.05. But if you look down here, this here, that's the 1 year, but here's the year to date right here. So year to date, the TSX right now, 29.22%. Now, you guys know the other day I was saying I want the 30. I want the 30 by the end of the year. Well, I don't know if we're going to get it or not, but the other day it was 29.11. So we've moved basically 0.11 in the direction I'm hoping for. So I'd love to see that hit 30%, but even if it doesn't, 29% is huge. Now look, let me show you the S&P 500. The S&P 500, 17.43%. So we're beating the S&P 500 by more than 10%. By more than 10%. Just let that, whoa. That's the type of frog that says ribbit, but it also says, please have some coffee. There we go. But yeah, we're beating them by 10%, more than 10%. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I love it. I certainly love it. All right. All right. And guys, bell-wise, we got 12 minutes. Nice. I love it. I love it. We got a good little bit of time. We got a good little bit of time for sure. I can go off on maybe 2 tangents before then. Paul, of they change after typing in. Read it like T-Day or T-Dac. I know. Like yesterday, somebody asked me to look at T-Dac, and I pulled up T-Day, and I started digging into T-Day. And I wasn't being nice, because that's USA Today. They're not doing well. They got a lot of debt. But all it takes is one letter can make a difference, for sure. Cowboy says, HBTE is my biggest loser this year. Wow, yeah. If you got in at HBTE towards the top, absolutely. Like, I'm still well in with HBTE. I wonder what is the biggest loser right now. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna take a look in the challenge. So in the 0 to 100K challenge, who is the biggest loser right now? And I kind of knew the answer before I went to look. But CNR. CNR is down. Total return negative 0.08. They're getting close to getting back into the green, but right now they would be the biggest loser. The biggest winner, London Gold, 129.04% right now. So, and like, yeah, the last time we looked, it was at 133. So it's moving around a little bit depending on what gold is doing. But yeah, those are the ones right now. So right now, like in the challenge, the only negative total return is that CNR one. Everybody else is in the green. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that quite a bit. All right. Doorpat says, picked up some FBTC and IBIT today. I am down about 10% in both ETFs. Should I continue to average down or wait for the winter? Waiting for the winter. The problem is with waiting for the winter is that it might be a long wait. It might be a long wait. So normally when you look at the economic, the whole economic cycle, yes, you've got bull markets, you've got bear markets. No, you've also got a depression is part of it too, but I don't think we'll ever hit a depression again. I honestly don't. I think governments will just not let that happen. So I never worry about a depression. We can have a really bad recession, but I don't think it'll ever get to a depression level because governments are not going to let it happen. Do you want to be the sitting government that lets a depression happen? I don't think so. So I think governments will do, even if it's a matter of screwing future generations, I think they'll do it. I think they'll do it. But here's the thing. When we're looking at a healthy economic cycle, you know, you need the bear market as much as you need the bull market. Bull markets do tend to be much longer, like a lot longer than bear markets. But bear markets, we need them every so often because it gives us a chance to breathe. It gives things a chance to correct, and it's healthy overall. It's healthy for growth. I mean, even if you look at most stocks, no stocks go up in a straight line. I mean, if any one stock was, well, all right, you know what? Let's just take it. All right, we got 8 minutes. We got lots of time. Let's actually go back to my Extendicare because this here. Oh, look at this. It looks like we got a little bit of a breakout, but I have a feeling they're gonna come back in. They'll correct back into this. But if this was the economic cycle, you can sort of see you've got your periods. You know, you got your bull, you got your bear, but just normal movement of a stock, even a stock when it's going up. I'm just trying to see if I can find a spot, like even in here where it's going up. You know, you still need these little corrections. You need these little corrections, and then you build upon it. Correction, build, correction, build. The whole market kind of works in that way, not just because, you know, think of it this way, if individual stocks work in that way, something that is a reflection of all of those stocks put together is obviously going to have a very similar structure. So that's kind of what we need. So we do need a bear market. We need it. I hate to say it, we need it. And as investors, guys, that's where you get the deals. That's where you make some money, some big time money. And I'll give you a good example here. Let's just go. I like to use, and there's no particular reason I use VFV other than the fact that it tracks the S&P 500. So it's very reflective of the economic cycle. And you can see it here. You can see bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, right here, bear, bull, pandemic, bull market, bear market, and big old bull market, Donald Trump, bull market. So it's all there. It's all there. You can see that history. You can see it built in there. You can see the difference. Like you can see, like even just looking at this here's a good example. This bear market, you can see, look at this, even the bull market that preceded it, you can see how much longer that is in time. And even then, like this little dent here, this technically was a tiny recession, one of the smallest ever recorded during the pandemic. But for the most part, this really, it's really from about here to here. If you ignore the pandemic, if you just ignore the pandemic, it's much longer. And this one here, and you can look, we're kind of getting to that length. We're kind of getting to that same length. Now, bull markets are not all the same length. So I want to be careful with that because it's like, oh, we're at that same length. We should definitely be going into a bear market tomorrow. Nope, not necessarily. Bull markets can get very, very long, and I think we could be in for a long one. This one seems to want to defy, it wants to defy everything, and I think it's going to continue to do so. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So waiting and going to crypto, waiting for a crypto winter. It's going to be hard to say when that's going to come. Obviously, the safest bet when it comes to investing, if you're holding long term, your safest bet is simply dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging, you're going to, in the end, you're going to have paid an average price. But it'll actually be a fair price. And, you will buy in the highs, the lows, the in-betweens. And for the most part, most people who dollar cost average on longer time scales make more money than people who are trying to time the market. So that's something to always keep in mind, that the dollar cost averaging is a better way. It is a better way to go. So yeah, I mean, if you wait for the winter, you might get better pricing. Sure, you might. But, we don't know how far it's going to fall this time. Obviously, there's still a lot of volatility. And the last time, Bitcoin fell a lot, quite a bit. And I'm paying attention to the time, guys. I am paying attention to the time. It's going to be that situation where I don't think we're going to go. I'm thinking the next crypto winter, Bitcoin might go down to between 50 and 60. And there's other people who are like, they're thinking higher. There's other people who think lower. But the reality is there's a lot more liquidity in there. There's a lot more money in Bitcoin. So there is a limit to how far it's going to fall. Last time, it fell from, what was it, mid-60s to, well, it got all the way down to 18. But for the most part, it hung out around 20 through most of that winter before it started building up again. So, look at it this way. Even we've already doubled that value from where we were before with, the higher points that we've had this time around. So even if you just did that and said, oh, well, then it will double it. So that would put it at 40. But I think you got to also take into consideration all of that money that flew into Bitcoin because of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the United States. That's added a lot more money to the system. So that's kind of why I take the double amount, so the 40, and I'm like, okay, that's probably at least added another 10, maybe 20. So, that's why I'm thinking, that's where I come up with that number. So we'll see what happens. But I would just be really, I don't know, I would dollar cost average. That's what I would do, personally. All right. And guys, we got about 50 seconds, actually about 40 now. 40 seconds to the bell. So I'm just going to move my coffee out of the way, get clear access to the bell. You know what I was thinking, and I don't have it. I wish I had a jingle bell. That would have been a good way to ring the bell today. So, but it's just a regular bell. It's the regular bell. I don't have any jingle bells. So, but in my heart, it'll be a jingle bell. All right, Cowboy says, careful of the depth of a rabbit hole you choose. Yeah, I can go down some pretty deep ones, that's for sure. All right, let's see here. We've got 10 seconds to the bell. Today, we hit it on time. We're not missing. No more 5 minutes. Let's do this now. And the market The market is closed, folks. The Christmas break begins. Welcome to Christmas. Welcome to Christmas. It's here. I love it. I love it. So, and I will say, guys, with this, oops, let's get back to the, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, actually, I need to be back over here, but we've moved into the red. The Grinch might have won. Now, there is a delay on this one, guys. So there's a 15-minute delay. So we won't know till 1:15 the final score, but the Grinch is making a last-minute play to push us into the red. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I don't want to do this, guys. I'll do it big. I don't want to do this, but uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's find a that's more pink. There we go. It's kind of orange, but actually with red I just turn up the heat and we get a good red in there. There we go. Oh, we've moved into the red. Currently it is down 0.04%. I would very much like to turn that back to green, guys. I would like to turn that back to green before the end of the show. So in 15 minutes, we'll come back. We'll take a look. Maybe we can put that back into the, maybe we can put that back to the green. Maybe we can put that back to the green. But right now, oh boy. Dorpat says, I mean, waiting crypto winter. These are Bitcoin ETFs. Oh yeah, we were getting there. I was just talking about the overall market and then transitioning into Bitcoin for sure. Cowboy, they already have screwed future generations and the economy is still terrible. Tesla just took off up on a 1-minute candle. Nice. Let's actually take a look and see if I should be able to see Tesla. I should be able to. There's no delay on Tesla. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Nice little candle here and there's also even today they have the post market. So they're down a little bit in post, but yeah, nice little move. Nice little move at the end. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Yeah, and let's just see here. Oh, Apple looks like they fell a little bit towards the end. I was looking at Apple. I've currently got a swing going on Apple, so I was hoping to see them move well a little bit differently than that. A little bit differently than that. Brian says, what shows as my biggest loser by dollars is YMAX. 1,582, but I am actually up because of dividends just over 1,600. Yeah, I mean, and that, that is true. So yeah, I very much love looking at total returns because total returns, that's the most important number. Now, one of the things I'll say is, in some cases, if you're a pure 100% pure income investor, you may not care about the total returns. You might just care about that income, and that's fine. I can see situations where that is most important. So, for example, if you've got a retirement portfolio and you are using it, you're using it to live off of. So you're using that income to live off of. So that becomes important. However, completely ignoring what's happening to an ETF can also be dangerous. So look at MSTE. So MSTE, yeah, it's been dropping like a weight, but there's some investors out there, there's some income investors who still love it. But if you were relying on it for income, it had a big dividend cut, and that could certainly impact somebody who, if they were getting a big chunk of their income from something like that. So that's always that danger. So when you are setting something up, sometimes the really high yields are really nice to look at, but they can be dangerous. They can bring that extra level of risk. And that's something I think of it as a trade-off. So I think actually, you know what? I think early in the new year, I should do a video on how I would structure my how I would structure my retirement portfolio if I was making an income one for me with my risk levels, because that will be a little bit different, I think, than than somebody who has higher risk levels than me, because I tend to be a little on the conservative side. I always look at it this way. You know what? the the holly hits the fan every so often, and it's always good to be prepared when that happens, for sure. All right, let's see here. Lance, a whole bunch of bells, and Santa, good old Santa. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. I don't think we're gonna, I think the Grinch is gonna win. I just looked at the TSX again, and it's still bringing me in, but right now it's down 0.16. Oh boy, is it gold? Look at this, and gold is down, has moved down. So I think gold is pulling the TSX down right now. So gold is down 0.14, 0.15. I think that is pulling that. I think it's gold's fault. It could be gold's fault, guys. Oh boy. Buddha says, hope all are well. Hope we get a great 2026. Rocket ship. I'm hoping so. I would love, this phenomenon that we've had with the Canadian market, completely owning the U.S. market this year. I would love to see that continue through 2026. Unexpected, very unexpected. You could go back to, I think you could go back to January, and you could look at anybody in the financial sector who made predictions on the year. Nobody called that. Nobody called that. Like, nobody. And if somebody says they called it, ask for the proof, because they're probably not, they're probably fibbing. Brian, it's going to, let's see, it's going to even worse when you refresh the TSX. Yeah, well, it has. It's getting worse. Right now, it's still at 0.14 down. So I think, well, I know there's still about 13, what is it? Not even 13 minutes. There's like 8 minutes left before this refresh gets caught up. I'm not optimistic. That the Canadian market can make it back to the green. So we may have to move into Christmas on a red day. Oh, that's fine. Overall, like I said, the TSX has owned the year. So one red day, not a bad thing. Buddha, not worried at all about Tesla. Yeah, Tesla has always been, and I've always said this. About Tesla, that even if they look like they're down and out, they still find a way to come back. And that's the way Tesla is. Tesla is a company that bounces back like crazy. And I love Tesla. Like, let's head over to Tesla here for a moment. Tesla. All right, I'm going to bring up the CDR. It's the same. Only reason I'm bringing up the CDR is I've got this chart. We're looking at it yesterday, and one of the things I was saying is that we might have one more move to the upside before, and I thought we could, I thought there's a possibility that we could break down, and it looks right now like it's broke a little bit, but it's trying to recover. So this channel might be invalidated, by next week, and that's fine. Means I have to come up with a new channel, because I've been playing this channel, buying here, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. And that's always a good way to make some money off of Tesla. But Tesla, yeah, Tesla is a very resilient company. Now, if you're looking at Tesla as a long-term investor, yeah, I think it's a good company. Outside of, every so often, actually, look at it this way. When Elon Musk decides to do stupid things in the public eye that causes Tesla to drop, if anything, it's a good buying opportunity. But Tesla's a strong company. And, and also keep in mind, don't think of Tesla as a car company. That's, unfortunately, it's kind of that thing. Like, everybody thinks of them as a car company, but they're not. They're basically AI and robotics. So, yeah, I think I think Tesla will be strong, and I think I hope the volatility never goes away, because I love this volatility, but eventually it will go away. That's just the way things go, unfortunately. Brian says, my YMAX dividends basically bought other ETFs, not putting a penny back into it. Nice. Keep, as long as YMAX keeps, yeah. Now, see, I'm not a huge fan of YMAX, but if they keep buying you more, at least if they keep buying you more ETFs, that's not a bad thing. Buddha, since the losers were burning Teslas, I bought the dip. Profits will be buying me a new used Model Y. Well, there you go. There we go. In your retirement video, I will not follow your CN pick. CN, no, the retirement video wouldn't have CN because it would be an income. It would be all income. So basically, it would be, this is my income. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, probably just do the TFSA, the income generating engine of what retirement would look like for me. But yeah, now mind you, by the time I retire, some of there might be even better ETFs available at that point. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But yeah, CN, I love CN, but they're not. They would never be in my retirement portfolio, at least for income. If, maybe they could sit, if I have any, they can hold out in the RRSP. I'd be okay with that. Oh, good coffee. Cowboy, my plan is to use dividends to buy the lowest cost item in my portfolio. Been effective for me so far. May change to buying bi-monthly ETF. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like when I receive dividends, I very rarely ever use them on where they came from. I just like to pool them, and I like to use them on whoever right now has got the biggest discount on them. That's one area that I will tend to look at, because if I got a company that is down temporarily and I'm really, really bullish on them, it makes sense to put the dividends there. It does, absolutely. Yeah, Paul says only down 0.03% today. Okay, nice. Look at this, TSX. Just head on back over to the TSX for a minute. Still down 0.14, and we're less than 3 minutes away from being caught up with them. So basically about 2 minutes, and a couple. All right. Thoughts on PPL. So Pembina Pipelines. I do like them. I like the pipelines overall, but it hasn't been the best year for pipelines. Pembina, they've been underperforming this year. And it's actually interesting. I get my exposure to them because I like pipelines across the board. I do get my exposure to them through PPLN, that there is a ETF, a pipeline ETF, and it tells the story of pipelines for sure. Actually, let's take a gander. Let's pull up PPLN. Here we go. So our Global X equal weight Canadian pipelines. And we'll just look, we'll use the 1 year, and you can sort of see here. They're up a tiny bit on the year, not much, just a tiny, tiny bit. So this has been a pretty flat, disappointing year for pipelines. However, I do think in the future, especially if we start getting some pipeline projects, there could be more money down the road for pipelines. So I still like it. I'll hold them. I haven't added a lot to them this year because they have been kind of not having a stellar year for sure. Paul says, I need to pump on RRIF balance on December 31st to set minimum withdrawal amount for 2026. Nice. That's right, because yeah, you're still in the process of converting that over to an RRIF, which is fantastic. Scott says, I haven't heard if any of the cover call ETFs are giving out an extra distribution before the 31st. I've only heard one thing. I don't think it's covered call, though. Just give me a second here. This here, guys. So this is Hamilton. I just received this today. They have one special extra distribution, It is for the Hamilton Canadian Bank Equal Weight Index ETF. I'm pretty sure this one is not covered call, but they're giving out basically 0.55 cents per share to their shareholders. This is their special cash distribution for this year. So that's the only thing I know of at this moment, and I just happen to have that. So your question was very timely. But yeah, this might be, this might be interesting. And if you are wondering any of your Hamilton stuff, all of their dividends, that all drops out. So guys, I will tell you right now, if you go to, like, if you're holding a lot of Hamilton or Harvest or whichever company, if you're holding a lot of their ETFs, when you go to their website and you go to leave, you'll usually get a little pop-up that will say, hey, do you want to sign up for our newsletter? It's a really good idea to do it because you get stuff like this. So if I'd been waiting, like let's say I was waiting for C-Day and I'm like, okay, when are my next distributions of C-Day? Oh, right here. I'm getting one on the January 8th and January 22nd. So, and they're both going to be, 18.3 cents per unit. So you get great information. And also sometimes as well, if they have, and like these are all of their others. So look, here is, HYLD. Their next one will be 1530. So yeah, I really think this is a valuable thing to have because then you get all of that data. And sometimes like you're wondering. Also keep in mind too though. So like for example with this one here where we have the pay dates. So even though C-Day is giving it to me on the 8th and the 22nd, I probably would receive it on the 9th and the 23rd because those are the dates that your broker will receive it, and typically you'll get it. Typically you'll get it the next year, depending on the broker. I know with Wealthsimple, it's almost always the next day, and same idea with National Bank as well. All right, let's see. Scott says the cover call ETF pay extra income into the ETF at the end of the year. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of covered calls, depending on the way it's structured. So a lot of them are structured that when they have extra income, a lot of them will actually sit on that income. They'll just sort of leave it within the fund because then when times get a little bit leaner, they've got that extra income that they can sort of use as a buffer so that they don't have to consider things like dividend cuts or things like that. So some companies will go that route as well, but other companies, well, at least for some ETFs, some companies will do other crazy things. Canoe does their special distribution every year, but it's a non-cash one. So, if you're holding it in a TFSA, you don't make a thing from it. But it can help you if you're holding it outside of your TFSA, if you're holding it in a non-registered. All right. And Cowboys has been a good year to buy pipelines, in my opinion. Yeah, it has been a good year because where they haven't really, where they've underperformed, if you've been buying during underperformance, when they do start to perform, that'll be a nice entry point for sure. Let's see. Do you want to build a pipeline to the tune of do you want to build a snowman? Okay. So do you want to build a pipeline? I like it. All right. Yeah. Uh, you should send that to like this hour has 22 minutes. They totally do something that they're pretty corny, so they do something with it, I'm sure. Bismarcky, good afternoon, all. Happy holidays. Yes, happy holidays to you as well. Oh, and guys, we can get our final tally. Yeah, look at this. Ooh, even worse, 0.18 down on the TSX. So, yeah, Scrooge. Scrooge won this year, not the Grinch. Because that reminds me, you guys remember back in the day, we'll go big screen. Canadian Tire used to have those Scrooge Santa commercials, like, save like Scrooge, give like Santa, or was it give like Santa, save like Scrooge? I think it went that way, but those used to be kind of funny. But yeah, in that context, Scrooge won today. The TSX down 0.18, and as we said, gold is down, and that certainly helped. Actually, interesting thing, gold was down a little more than what the TSX was earlier, but the TSX is, it's traced down a little bit. We'll have a better day Monday. As I said, I really would love to see, we're so close. We're so close. Right now, year to date, oh boy, we've actually fell back. We're now at 28.98% year to date. We were, earlier today, before this little fall, we were at 29.22. I would love to end 2025 30%. 30%, that's where I want. That's the goal. But nonetheless, if we do finish at 29, like I said, I'll still be happy. Brian, let's see. I looked about 3 weeks ago and found that I had a lot of Harvest, Hamilton, and Evolve ETFs. Going to the websites came in handy looking up dividends. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I haven't done this yet, guys. So this is the pot calling the kettle black. But probably wouldn't even hurt to have bookmarks for each of those sites. And I should have them, because then on the show, I don't have to look them up. I can just hit the bookmarks. So 2026, I will have bookmarks for all of the companies. Well, not all of them, but all of the ones that we regularly go to. So Hamilton, Evolve, Global X, 9 Point, all of them. We'll get them. We'll get all of the ones that we go to. Cowboy, TC and ENB are building pipelines in the States. Yeah, absolutely. Scott says, I worked at CT when they had those ads. Drove me insane. Oh, yeah, because you couldn't escape them. You couldn't escape them. Here's a funny thing. I used to work at a drugstore, Lawton's Drugs. You don't, those of you who are on the East Coast, you know what Lawton's Drugs are. Those of you on the West Coast, you're like, Lawton's what? But we had one Christmas album. It was a CD. We had one Christmas CD in the store. That was it. Not that we sold. We had like a rack of other ones, but the store owned one, and it was the same one over. It was basically Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers' Christmas. So it played on repeat the entire season. And like every time I hear Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton say that they'll be home with bells on, I just cringe. It brings me back. It brings me back to those days where it's like, and I don't even know why we only had one. Like, if I would have been smart back then, and I was smart, but not smart enough, I would have just bought them another Christmas album. But then they probably couldn't have played it, because obviously you have to have, it has to be something that's super family friendly if you're going to play it on your air system. And I guess that one was the one. But, I mean, heck, even if they picked up an old Bing Crosby, I would have been happy with that. But anyway. Brian says, I'm starting to realize I better start proofreading before I hit send. I've been brutal lately. It happens to everybody. I cannot tell you how many times I've hit send and then I look at what I sent and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I misspell that? It happens. It happens. You know what? Honestly, I think because it happens to everyone, I think nobody is judging your spelling. And in here, like I see errors all the time, and I do my best. Sometimes, like, I know exactly what you're saying, so I just correct them as I say them. But yeah, I mean, or sometimes, sometimes I don't. Just, but nonetheless, feel free, guys. As long as I can understand, as long as the gist of what you're trying to say is in the message, I'm happy with it. I am never gonna grade your spelling. Never, ever. And it's not even your spelling, really. Sometimes it's just, sometimes it's, yeah, exactly. Bismarcky, blame the autocorrect. Just blame the autocorrect. I've seen autocorrect do some really funky things. So I think there's videos out there of things autocorrect has done, and some of them are not safe for my channel, that's for sure. All right, Cowboy says, my favorite is Muppet Christmas Carol when Scrooge takes out the rabbit with the wreath. Makes me laugh uncontrollably. It's been a long time since I've actually watched that version, because I was telling you guys the other day. So the version of Scrooge that I watch every year, I think it's a Lifetime movie. It's got Patrick Stewart in it, and it's just really good. Like I've always thought, well, Patrick Stewart before Star Trek, um, he was he was mostly a very dramatic actor, so he's really really good, and he makes that movie. He does it really well. So that's my favorite version of Scrooge. So I stick with it. I stick with it. All right, Bismarcky. Right, we already did that one. Azenial, touchscreen keyboards are the worst. Blackberry for the win. Um, yeah. Sometimes they're not easy. Now you can get little attachments where you can actually set your phone on it, and they'll have like little keyboards for you. That's one option around it. But nowadays, they're usually pretty good. Like a lot of times, if I'm sitting there and I want to type things on my phone, I will. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll just use the voice thing because it's really good at translating. Like almost no errors nowadays compared to the way it was. All right. I saw it referred to as autocorrupt. I love it. I can't even blame that when there are words completely missing. Come on, brain and fingers, get your act together. Yeah. Yeah, it happens, though. It happens, Make it ho, 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 Patrick Stewart. Let's see. I blame chubby fingers, especially on my phone. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you got bigger fingers, yeah, I could see that as being a problem. Like some people will use like their stylus, or or get like with an iPhone you could use I think there's an Apple, you can get an Apple Pencil, and I think you can use that. But once again, just using the voice. Using the voice thing works really well now. Um and that's how I usually say, like, if somebody's like, "Oh, you wrote a lot." It's like, yep, that you can tell that if I'm typing it, you're getting quick one-word answers. How are you? Fine. There we go. But if I'm using the voice, then it would be, "Oh, I'm doing well. I had a great day. Um, I did a live stream and everybody was awesome." Like all of that. I'll just go on and on. I'll give a nice big amount. But yeah, if I'm in a situation where and usually it's a situation where, like, if I'm watching TV or something, I'm not gonna use the voice, obviously, because that's disrespectful to Jill, who's probably watching the same thing. All of that fun stuff. All right, Scott says, I just plug in a full-size USB keyboard to my phone. It works. It works. I actually have a keyboard around here somewhere that is, it's a wireless one. It will pair with anything. It pairs with anything. Like, it'll also pair with multiple different devices. Actually, I think it's in one of my drawers. But that's always an option as well. Absolutely. So what can I say? What can I say? Holy banana bread. All right. And let's see here. Brian says, I'm using a wireless keyboard with my laptop closed and casting to my 49-inch Samsung. Nice. Nice. Yeah, you got to love that. You got to love that for sure. And as you guys know, when my battery died in my mouse the other day, I found out that I can actually use the touchpad on my laptop to control the mouse on my Mac Studio. So I was like, all right, that's pretty darn cool. Oh boy. Cowboy. Can't imagine Newfie speak being translated by computer. um, yeah, maybe. It's the thing is though, and especially as we get better and better AI behind these things, they will learn. Like if you've got a certain way of saying something, they'll learn your accent. They'll learn the way you say a word. So it's getting really, really better. It's actually funny. I won't say the A word, but we're talking about the A word. For one reason, some of ours just all of a sudden updated to a new, smarter version of the A word. And I was actually, I actually got into a conversation last night with the A word, and we were just talking for a bit, and I was just like, "Wait a minute, what am I doing? Having a conversation?" But yeah, they're getting now. It's kind of interesting. I think it's the newer models, the ones that we bought the latest, all of a sudden have a better A word on them. The other ones are the same old dumb A. So smart A on the new ones, dumb A on the old ones. But I like the improvement. I really, really do. Um, and Scott says, yes, yes, that's, that's, I see what you did there. That's kind of crafty. That is absolutely crafty for sure. Holy banana bread. Or maybe I should be saying holy gingerbread, because it's Christmas Eve. What can I say? Okay. Whew. Quick question. Do you guys have traditions? Like, do you have any kind of a New Year's tradition? Now, when I grew up, we had a tradition where we would open a gift. Every one gift we got to open on New Year's Eve, on Christmas Eve. And apparently not everybody does that. So here's my question. Do you open a single gift on Christmas Eve, or are you hardcore? Wait until the morning. Wait until the morning. All right. Now, Brian says they will never figure out a newfie after a few drinks. Okay, I can't figure out, and I'm good with accents. I'm pretty good with accents, but yeah, yeah. Let's see. I know plenty of them for years, and a few times I'd say can translate to English for me. All right, the Epic Coder. Thoughts on BCE? So good old Bell. Well, the good news is that, let's pull up, well, first of all, let's head over to the chart. The good news is I think the telecom industry overall, I think they're going to have a better 2026 than they had 2025. Let's go head over here. Let's pull up BCE. All right, now, Bell has made a lot of good moves this year, including the dividend cut. I know, a lot of people, a lot of people who loved their dividend are like, no, not the dividend cut. But it was a good move for Bell overall. They're also doubling down. No, well, I don't want to say doubling down, but they're starting to move a lot of investment now towards data, AI data centers. I think that's a good move as well, diversifying the services that they have, their investment portfolio. I think that's going to help them as well. All right. I'm going to go to the 3-year. I'm going to the 3. Actually, let's go to the 5-year. Get a full picture. So this is a story that began all the way back here in 2022. So obviously, we got a lot of factors. Like at this point in 2022, we still had the, well, technically until about, let me go about here. So this bigger drop right in here. So between here and here, this here was the actual the bear market. They had a little bit of recovery after the bear market, but yeah, then they basically started back down big time, running a big dividend. Not really. It was kind of what the interesting thing about Bell, and I remember this journey very well. Every time I felt like they were at a bottom, and you can see some of these areas like in here, 51, areas like in here at 45, even in here, it felt like a bottom for them, but it's like they found new ways to dig deeper. They kept on. It's like, yeah, they're at the bottom. Nope, they won't buy a new shovel. They found ways to keep on going down. Now here's the beautiful thing. So after all of the changes that they've made, the dividend cut helping them out, they really do feel like they've hit a bottom. Like this here feels like their bottom. This little bit in here, like at 29.90, 30, that really does feel like the bottom. They have made some recovery from it. Yeah, they came back down a little bit, but I do see this as being a better year. Now, part of what was going on here too is all of that 5G rollout. So that cost a lot of money. That removed a lot of money off the table. So they had, first of all, they had the urban, and then they had to switch to rural. Now that's all done now. That's all done. So that money is no longer off the table. I think that is definitely going to help them. So yeah, I think right now, I like where they're at buy-wise. If you're looking for a long term, I think they're going to definitely do. I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to do well, but you know, it's not going to be it's not going to be a giant run up. Like if you inverse this, it's not going to be anything like that. I think 2026 we'll see some improvement in telecoms. I think we'll see a sort of a smaller, kind of not a great slope, but I think it'll be a slow, steady rise when it comes to companies like, for example, Bell. I also feel that TELUS and Rogers are going to be in the same boat. So I do like them for 2026. I don't have any in my portfolio at the moment, but this is not a bad time. This would not be a bad time to add them for sure. And maybe I will bring one of. Well, I probably won't bring one in. I'll probably bring in a. I will probably bring in probably an ETF just to sort of get that diversification across my exposure. All right, Cowboy says have no interest in any smart home devices. Okay, fair enough. No for Christmas, but yes for Hogmanay. Okay. Doorpass has got to run. Merry Christmas, Candace, and everyone. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Doorpat. We are back tomorrow. If you want to drop in, it's up to you. Doesn't matter to me. I will stream with nobody here tomorrow. If it comes down to it, never does come down to that, but I'd still do it. Hippo is in the house. Welcome to the show. Oh, wow. Early show. Hey, everyone. Yes, the market today closed at 1 o'clock. So, yeah, we're like, we got in early. And not only that, we started at 12:30. And we've been going now for what? An hour and 7 minutes. So what can I say? Cowboy, been doing TELUS, can't get behind Bell or Rogers. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, for me, my most hated of the three is Rogers. But, you know, I look at it this way. I may hate Rogers, but I mean, if I have exposure to them, and I know I do have exposure to them in some of my ETFs, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I just don't. And currently, Rogers is my service provider, so even though I don't like them, there's the beautiful. Well, there's one big saving grace I think for all of our telecom companies. Once AI takes over customer service, we'll finally get customer service because it's hit and miss. It's so hit and miss when you call any of the big telecoms, some of the service that you get. So, but a funny story. Oh, I have a really funny story. So I worked very briefly at Rogers, not a long time in their call center years ago. Well, they had an outage. And so we were supposed to take the phone calls and collect information to call people back. Well, this girl who sat across from me, her voice was so robotic. So she had her opening squeal, and everybody who was calling and getting her thought she was a recording and hung up on her. Oh my God, it was hilarious. But, you know, I didn't have that luck. I would just, I'd explain, look, we got a outage, we can't access customer information. I can hand take down your information and we can, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But, and I can understand. I mean, it's not fun if you're calling over something, especially because if you're like me, if I'm planning to call Rogers, I will block some time out for it because I know I'm not going to get anybody in the first hour anyway. So I will usually have something that I'm doing or working on the computer that I can just have Rogers on the side waiting. So I can understand why people would be really mad if they did that. You blocked out the time and you finally got in and then you're being told, yeah, we can do nothing for you. We'll just take your name and information down and we'll get the information back to you. So yeah, that would be absolutely frustrating. Brian says Bell is down to a 5% dividend now, which some people are still even saying is a little high. Realistically, it's much more reasonable for their debt level. Yeah, I think it is a much more reasonable dividend. And keep in mind that as they do, like if we see the 2026, I'm thinking with that sector, by the end of 2026, that 5% dividend, it could very well be a 4% dividend. You know, not from a dividend cut, but from the value of their shares going up through the year. Wahibble says, got some FOM with my paycheck and the distributions that were sitting there. See, we were talking about this earlier, Wahipple, about missing letters and stuff. I think you're saying FOMO. I got some FOMO. So fear of missing out. Maybe it's FOMO. With my paycheck and the distributions that were sitting there. Yeah, absolutely. You got the money. It's burning a hole in your pocket. You're looking for something to buy. Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. Buddha says, I cut BCE loose and won't be back. Have been thinking about TELUS, but better horses out there. Yeah, I mean, you know, here's the thing. You can completely avoid the telecommunication sector and still have a pretty good diversified portfolio if you want. So, yeah, there's many ways to build a good portfolio. All right, guys, we're at the 1 hour and 12 minutes. You got your last minute questions. Get them on in. We'll, you know, if you guys keep the questions coming, we'll stay here longer for sure. But, yeah, if you got your dying last minute questions, get them on in for sure. Oh, I'll go big here for a moment. I always realize when I'm small because the circle's down here, I'm underneath. In this case here, Buddha was pretty much in front of me. So, the fun. Oh, and I'm almost out of coffee too, guys. So that's incentive. That's incentive for me. It's probably because it's so early in the day. It's so early in the day, I'm more thirsty, for sure. But what can I say? Oh, I have another thing to say. I will be getting off pretty much by the end of today. I want to get the choices for the last video of the month over to the channel members to vote on. So if you have an idea for a video, and you don't have to be a channel member, anybody can give me that idea. There is, if you go to the community tab, there is there's a question there or a plea, please give me ideas. If you want to drop your idea in there, definitely do that, because right now I'm going to have to take the idea that's there, and I've got a few other sources of ideas that have come in, just things people have asked me off of the form. So I'll bring that over too, but I want to get those off to the channel members because they vote for the last video of the month. Yeah, we'll see how that's and also I was going to say, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, also going into any changes that will happen. So I always evaluate the channel every year. So as we head into the new year, that's when I make changes. I don't like to make a lot of changes in the beginning of the year, but right now, the only thing that is being changed 100% is, well, the market closes. They will be all starting at, at 3:30 instead of 3:45. So that way there, we have that extra time so that we can actually look and see, especially if there's something going on in the market, gives us time to explore it a little bit better. So those are going to just start a little bit earlier. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of other changes going on, other than I might change the way the channel membership the final video works, because sometimes I feel it might be it's a little bit like pulling teeth to get a lot of ideas. So what I might do is I might actually go back to the Discord way. We used to in the past pull off a bunch of ideas out of the Discord. So we might do that going forward in the new year, but we'll figure it out. We're going to have a lot of content coming up where we are going to make some of the predictions for 2026. So January is our time for predictions, and particularly the first half of January. Once you get to the middle of January, it's too late. Come on, it's too deep into the year. So we'll have a few prediction videos coming out. We're also going to look at the prediction videos from last year, and I'll figure out exactly where that is going to be. I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. I'll let you guys know tomorrow during the Christmas stream, as I figure out where I'm going to, what live stream I'm going to drop that into. So anyway, we got a lot of good stuff coming up this year. And, well, guys, I think we've hit the end today. It's a little shorter than normal, 1:06. That's still over an hour. But, guys, enjoy your Christmas Eve. Enjoy your night with the family, with the kids, all of that fun stuff. And I will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll have a good little stream. Hold on here. Is it blocking me? Is what blocking you, Scott? You mean the street, like the YouTube? I don't know. I mean, did you put anything in? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just look at my YouTube, because sometimes if something gets blocked, I might see it in YouTube. Let me see here. I saw something, but then it disappeared. I think it said red acted. Maybe, I don't know. Are you using a website address? Because sometimes that will do it. Sometimes that will do it. If you're using like, so, you know, if you wanted to put, or I don't even want to say a website address. Let's say you wanted me to look at something on the US market and you put, or let's say you wanted me to look at Bell on US, BCE.US, that dot would cause a problem. So that's kind of an interesting thing. All right, let me just see here. Cowboy Prime rib to turkey night tomorrow. Merry Christmas all. Merry Christmas, Candace. Oh, FOM is the ticker. All right. All right. Guys, I got to look at this before we can go. Whoops. I was looking at YouTube to try to figure out what was going on there with Scott. All right, FOM. Whoa. Here we go. Oh, Foran Mining. Here we go. Foran Mining. Let's take a look here. Oh, they had a pretty good day today. They're up 1.029%. Not too shabby. All right, I want to take a quick look and see what they're doing here. They're committed to supporting a greener future and empowering communities while creating value for stakeholders. Okay. I want to know what they're mining. Let's see. All right, so, okay, they've got, okay, here we go. So right now they're working out this McIvana Bay. Okay. So let's see, copper, zinc, gold, silver rich deposit. Nice. Those are, that's a nice combination for sure. I love the copper too. I love that copper came first. So that's fantastic. They've got a good deposit. And let's take a look here. I'm just gonna pull up that 1 year. So they've been, all right, well, not so good the first part of the year, but they have really been taking off here since about, well, since the middle of the summer. So July into August, they've absolutely exploded. Gonna take a look at their back end here and see here. All right, so they don't have a lot of debt, which is good. 37% debt to equity. Now it's showing them as being unprofitable, so we got a return on equity of -2%, but that's not bad. That's close to actually becoming a little more profitable. So, yeah, this is an interesting company. I would still call them penny adjacent at $4.91, but you know, and also keep in mind, and I always point this out, this data comes from their last quarterly report. If you know, right now as we're getting towards the end of the year, like a lot of quarterly reports, like the next reports will end on the 31st. So this may be not as accurate as what it could be. So I would say for a company like this, take a look back at things like their return on equity once that next report drops. Hopefully they drop it in January. But yeah, take a look at it then, and we'll see how that looks. And actually, bring it, Wahipple, bring it back to the channel once we've got that report out, because I wanna take a look and see how that's improved. All right, Scott says I was asking about SJ. Okay. All right. Let's pull up SJ. So Stella Jones, and of course I do like Stella Jones quite a bit. I held them. I actually held I held SJ in the 0 to 100K challenge for a while, but then there were some headwinds that I caught air of that I was like, I think I'm gonna get out. But uh-oh. There we go. I had to mute because I had to sneeze. You know what? That may be the first time I've sneezed on air. That may be the first time. I don't think it's happened. Um, all right. Let's pull this up. But yeah, all right. So yeah, look at this. This year, they have, if we go back here, I kind of got out of here, back up in here. Back up in here, I got out. So I avoided all of this. But they have been making some headway coming back for sure. Now, they are, lumber and wood products. And that is a very valid point that Scott was sort of mentioning, or even Cowboy's mentioning that, with all the tariffs on lumber, funny to see SJ climbing. So yeah, they obviously have some issues with the lumber, but one of the interesting things is it would be interesting to see what their customer base is like. Like if they're selling mostly domestic, then those tariffs aren't going to really impact them as much. So that might be part of it. And as well, some of our lumber, even despite the tariffs, is, well, it's much more desirable in the United States. So there is some of the lumber that's still going to move. But putting those two things into consideration, that could be interesting. And this here is, okay, yeah, they got pressure treated. Yeah, and that's pretty much, it's kind of like, it's like the steak. It's like the steak of the wood world. And I guess steak is probably a bad word to use because, but it's higher end wood. It's really good wood. It's used for a lot of things. Well, look here, utility poles, railway ties, residential lumber, and industrial products. So yeah, there's definitely a huge. And let's just see. Oh, this is interesting here. Like I mentioned about domestic. Well, now, look at this. Geographical segments are the United States and Canada, in which a majority of its revenue is derived from the United States. All right. Here is a key point, and this is where you would want to look into things. But if they are making money in both countries, if they actually have mills in the United States, and if they have operations within the United States and in Canada, then as long as you're not crossing the border, right, you're not going to get hit with those tariffs. So if they do have operations in the United States, they might be able to sort of work out of both countries, and each side of those operations could be serving basically domestic, if you think about it from that perspective. Now, this is me surmising, though, guys. I do not know if they actually have operations in both parts of the country. I only know what they're mentioning right here. So that would be definitely interesting. And you know what? I wonder, let's ask, I'm kind of curious now. I'm kind of curious. You've brought me down to a rabbit hole. I'm just going to bring in Google. Let's just find out here. Does Stella Jones process lumber in both USA and Canada? There we go. Let's just see. I'm just kind of curious to see what we got. So yes, they do. So absolutely processes lumber in both the United States and Canada, operating a large network of wood treating facilities, pole peeling operations, and distribution centers across both countries. There we go. That's our answer right there. See, I surmised it, and that was the thing. I guess I just needed AI to do some legwork for us, but I was pretty sure that had to be what was going on there. So Definitely very interesting. Interesting. It's on the national interest list. Oh, the FOMO, or sorry, the FOM, the FOM. That would not surprise me. Like I said, I do like what I see on FOM. I think I really want to see after their next earnings, because I have a feeling they're going to be. I'm feeling they might be profitable. They might be profitable. Treated lumber still in high demands. Foam poles and railway sleepers, but they've looked at getting into housing. Okay, okay. And I am pumped for the 100K video to come out. Oh, the next 0 to 100K. Yeah, that's going to be. I think that'll be the. Will it be the first? It might be the first. Yeah, I think it's going to be the first video of January. I think I haven't scheduled it out. I'm still sort of doing that, but it'll definitely be either. If it's not the first, it'll be the second, but probably the first. So I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to it too. All right. See, we aborted my leaving, and I'm okay with that, guys. It's like, whoa, I pushed against the thing, and it made it look like an earthquake here. I'm okay with aborting. You know, it's like if you throw in, even if I'm in the middle of my spiel to leave, if you throw in something interesting, it can stop me. It can stop me. So it never hurts to try. It never hurts to try. Oh, Andrew, you're just adding insult to injury now, aren't you? All right. MMMY. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding with you, Andrew. MMMY. All right. I have a feeling it might be a smaller company because they're on the, let's see, MMMY. Yeah, Monument. We've been here before. We've been here before. So here we go. Monument Mining, a freshly non-penny stock, but well, I still call them a penny stock until they were above a buck for a while, for at least a little bit. But as you can see, well, maybe they have been. Maybe they have been. Let me just double check here. Let's see here. Yeah, they've only broken above $1 here in the last couple of months, so they haven't. They're not there yet. Give them 6 months, and I will. I'll call them a non-penny stock. But I do like what we've seen so far with Monument Mining. They're in the right sector. They're in the right sector for sure. This one is profitable, so that is a nice thing. Like you'll notice here, 18 cents EPS. That's nice to see. We'll look at the back end here in a second. But when we're looking at this one here, they've got gold mines in Malaysia, and they've also got a gold project in Western Australia. So that's pretty cool. Gold, well, gold, as I said, gold's going to continue to do well next year. It's not going to explode the way it did this year, but it's still going to be steady growth. All right, looking at their back end, and I have a feeling I'm going to like what I see back here. I have a feeling, and yes. So no debt, and here's that part I love. Look at this, return on equity, 30.70%. This, not too shabby, not too shabby. And look at this, they've even started paying a dividend. So there's 2 cents coming out there on January 5th. So I don't know if, I don't know. Let's take a look here. I'm kind of curious to see here. Let's look at this dividend. No, it doesn't give me anything here on the dividend yet. Kind of curious. I don't know if it's like a one-time dividend. Maybe it's annual. Maybe it's semi-annual. Maybe it's quarterly. Do not know that yet. But I do like Monument. I do like Monument. Scott says, Merry Christmas all. I won't be able to join tomorrow. No worries. No worries. There's always the replay. Paul, just finished with Quest Trade chat. They said in approval phase of conversion and might be finished today. Nice. I know you've been anxious to get that RRIF all settled in, so that'll be good. It'll be like an early Christmas gift for you, Paul. Hippo, thank you for all the good shows and videos. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'll mention Monument Mining again in 6 months. I know you will, Andrew. I know you will. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Paul, looking my RRSP, it is showing plus 57% P&L this year so far. Started at Quest Trade in April 2025. Nice. Yeah, Paul, you've had a good year. You've had a really good year, Paul. Oh, Cowboys throwing in a QQQ. Is Quest Trade still charging $5 per trade? They shouldn't be. My understanding is that, and I don't use Quest Trade because I wasn't able to get in. I don't know my application. I still get the email communications from them and everything, but it never finished. It never finished. So are they still charging $5 per trade? I hope not. I thought they were commission free now, so they shouldn't be. Um, Merry Christmas, Candace, says Andrew. Um, and Bryce says, I bought QQQI the other day. All right, fair enough. I'll also mention DBO. Of course you will. All right, this time I'm leaving, guys. We made it to the hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, Brian saying Quest Trade is free. Exactly. So there we go, Cowboy. Quest Trade should be free. Should be free. All right, we will be back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll go for, I don't know, we'll go for an hour. And if you guys are here and you guys are asking questions, we might go longer. I mean, I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open. All right, until next time, guys, have happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and for those of you who will be back here tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody else, I will see on actually Sunday for this week. Until then.